name is Steph, and I am a donor-conceived survivor. Please subscribe to my channel and give me a like if you've watched, and drop a comment if you have any questions or would like to see me talking about a different subject in a future video. You know what to do. So let's talk about family secrecy. It is most definitely the main reason why my family is so broken. My mom, my dad, the half-brother I grew up with, and I all lived in secrecy, and it truly started at conception with my parents hiding that both of us are donor conceived. And I'm going to speak for just myself and how that affected the family through my eyes, but secrecy was such a common theme in my family, and sexual abuse and child abuse, the violence, the emotional abuse, all of those are very real things, and I can't hide that, and I'm not going to anymore. It's also another secret that I've been hiding. With me finding out that I am donor conceived through a 23andMe test, I felt very violated that my parents expected me to keep it a secret from the world, especially considering that this discovery led me to meeting 5 of the most amazing people I've ever wanted to meet, which are my siblings. One of which is a donor-conceived person, and the other 4 are biological children to my donor. We met up in Texas, and we had the best time on the beach. It was so healing, well worth spending every moment with them. Honestly, it's one of the best blessings that came out of such a painful discovery, honestly. I've always wanted siblings, more siblings. I got sisters, which I always wanted. I strongly suggest, if you are a donor-conceived person and you are thinking of reaching out, meeting up with any of your half-siblings that you've discovered, do it. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. It was so rewarding to see the resemblance in all of us together. To even see the resemblance of them and my kids is truly magical. So I would highly recommend, if you're donor conceived, to do it. Again, the topic of secrecy. Secrecy tore my family apart 100%, and this was just the straw that broke the camel's back. The 23andMe test was just the wake-up call that I needed to finally stand up, be brave, and just say no. Keeping secrets is abusive. The only way to heal is to reveal, honestly. I'm going to do it as gently as I can, but I do it with love, because I honestly believe that donor-conceived people need to speak out more about this. Survivors need to speak out and find their voice too, because it's honestly such a rewarding place to be able to have the confidence to say something and do it loud and proud. What happened to me when I was 17 shouldn't have happened. My raising dad, Peter, the minister of the family church I was brought up in, took me to Kaiser Hospital, to Dr. Nachbar's office, and the goal of that visit was to have my medical records deleted, to hide the sexual abuse and the abuse in general. Both physical and sexual abuse happened. And that shame and guilt followed me around. I watched the 2 mandated reporters discussing my medical records right in front of me on the computer And my dad, Peter, wrote Dr. Nachbar a check to delete my medical records, unfortunately. And what's really painful with that is, of course, that's painful, but let's also remember that now that I've discovered I'm donor conceived, I wasn't given the basic human right to have my donor's medical history. It was an anonymous donation, so, I get that. I understand that back many years ago, it was encouraged to keep it a secret, but this is 2021 when I found out. It shouldn't have been found out the way that it was. We can't go back in time and change that, but the reaction hurt probably the most from my parents. That was the most unsettling part of this all, is just the reaction my parents had. I see my conception, I see my life story as beautiful, unique. I am a donor conceived person. That means I was preserved. My little sperm vial was frozen and preserved. And then, of course, the ugly truth is that it was sold to a couple who needed therapy more than they needed to have children. And the generational cycle continued with me being their daughter. And that's the sad truth. But we can talk about it. We can bring it to light so that it doesn't happen to other children and it doesn't happen to other donor-conceived people. It'll bring awareness to maybe recipient parents who are struggling to tell their donor-conceived child or children because they've been holding this secret for so long. It's not healthy. Don't do it. Don't keep secrets from your kids. It's not right. It's not right. And don't make love conditional either. If your donor-conceived child decides, or adult child decides to tell their family and friends and be excited and proud about their new discovery, I think it's important that parents support and still love their kids no matter what, no matter where they came from or what their DNA is. Secrets aren't safe. So with that, I am ending this video. I will be making more, and this is just a little taste of what's to come. I'm just excited to be able to share my story. It feels really good. So take care.
I know the feeling, it's traumatizing.